What's interesting now about crypto, I don't consider crypto Bitcoin or Ethereum. Okay, yes, they were the pioneering assets, but I'm considering crypto as the 12th sector of the S&P.
Hello and welcome to another video of our channel, and today our topic is to discuss the mass adoption, regulations, and the importance of big investors getting into the crypto industry with Kevin O'Leary. And if you stick until the end, you will also get to know the investment distribution and advice of Kevin. As right now most of the people are thinking, should I invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum, for example, because of this new form of exchange? Well, there are no definitive answers to these questions. Furthermore, the next questions which come in your mind once you get into crypto is that how close are governments to fully integrating cryptocurrency into their economies? Is it possible for a country's traditional currency to coexist with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies? It is possible. We will tell you why crypto is gaining more traction in various countries and how a country can fully adopt these digital exchanges. So let's see what Kevin O'Leary has to say about it. But before we see what he believes, let us give you an introduction of who Kevin is. Kevin O'Leary is a Canadian businessman, financier, and television personality best known for his appearances on the reality shows Dragon's Den and Shark Tank. Now let's hear what Kevin has to say about the institutional adoption of cryptocurrency or the future of cryptocurrencies and specifically Bitcoin.
It hasn't been declared that yet, but I think that's where we're going. And so when you talk about running a mandate like I do for institutional clients or institutional mindset, they say to themselves, okay, in a normal world where I understand each of the 11 sectors of the S&P, I may allocate, the largest I would allocate would be 20%, let's say, to technology. That's generally the max in a mandate. And maybe you do 3% in energy because your ESG concerns are there and all the rest of it, but you're dabbling in all 11. I'm now dabbling in crypto as if it was the 12th. So that means I don't need a mandate to do that. I'm doing that because I'm able to get my compliance department to agree on certain coins, tokens, assets, but they have no interest in just buying Bitcoin. I get Bitcoin. That's one asset. It's just like when you say, I'm going to have 20% in tech. There's 1,000 companies to choose from to build that position. So for me now to actually get into crypto, I need multiple positions because I'm mandated to have diversification. So yeah, I own Bitcoin. Yes, I have some Ethereum. I have some Litecoin. I have some USDC, but there's much more coming. And I'm at 3% right now, waiting in a mandate. That's not a lot. I'm on my way to 7% by year end. That's a lot. And that's starting to be where I consider myself a participant in this market.
Just like what Kevin said, institutions and investors are not yet ready, and the recent incidents of USD and Luna has added fuel to the fire. If you don't know what happened to Luna and USD, let me explain. USD, an algorithmic stablecoin, plummeted over the last month, and it lost its peg against the US dollar, sending its sister coin Luna crashing to zero and wiping out about $45 billion. Untold numbers of investors' savings were wiped out overnight as a result of the crash. The incident epitomizes regulators' nightmare scenario of crypto projects going wrong, prompting U.S. Secretary Treasury Janet Yellen to call for regulation of stablecoins, whose selling point is that they will be pegged to another currency or commodity by the end of the year. Former Securities and Exchange Commission lawyers say the agency is likely already looking into the matter. And this is why Kevin also highlighted that multiple positions must be there and diversification is the most important thing. Then you won't be losing like the investors of Luna or UST who only invested in these projects. Now further, let's see what Kevin has to say. Most investors don't right now want to invest in Bitcoin. Even the likes of Elon Musk have to reverse his decision of accepting Bitcoin for Tesla due to investors. So when they will start getting into the cryptocurrency, or will they? Or are they getting into crypto secretly?
Yeah, I think it's a great debate, but I don't think Bitcoin's ever going to be centralized. It's going to be regulated, but never centralized. And I think to the fact that, as we started this dialogue earlier, I, like you, believe in it as an asset. I own it. I've never traded it. I'm never going to sell my coin. It's to me, it's the building I used to own in Boston that I sold for cash. I mean, it's sort of, it's something that I think over time will beat the indices and hedge me against inflation. It's similar to gold, which I also own, but maybe in a better performing way. and I need to get all the roadblocks out of its way. I don't want to have this ESG debate about it anymore. And I'm part of that debate. I'm one of the voices that have been saying this now for 2 years. We got to address this issue. And again, it came up at the panel I was on today. It's the same story. In that audience, every time I come to these conferences and I do a panel, I look into the audience and I see the same institutions that I serve indexing with baseball hats on, and sunglasses. They don't want to be seen here. They don't want to be seen here, but they're really interested in this asset class. And in that room, I bet you 20% of the people today, I don't know, there are 3,000 people in there, are involved in financial services. You can tell who they are because they're wearing a hat and they got sunglasses on, because they're not ready to declare they're players yet.
So as you see, Kevin said investors are in crypto, but they don't want to show themselves before all the regulations go live and they get to know about the rules of playing into cryptocurrencies. Now further, what we have to say about the regulations and the global adoption of cryptocurrencies by the government is that governments are developing their own digital currencies, known as CBDCs, regardless of the future of cryptocurrency. Although they may be available within the next decade, we believe that some level of digital literacy will be required before they can be widely implemented. This emphasizes the importance of educating yourself and your company about cryptocurrency today. While cryptocurrencies and CBDCs are likely to operate in different ways, many of the fundamentals are likely to be the same. Payments will most likely be made using a digital wallet on your smartphone rather than pulling physical bills from your wallet. Independent financial technologies like cryptocurrencies will be built around the CBDC rather than within traditional financial institutions like banks. Furthermore, as long as governments exist, there will be a demand for that country's currency. Taxes must be paid in the country's sovereign currency, which cryptocurrency holders and investors are attempting to change. So let's finally ask Kevin where he is investing and what would his advise people to go for, obviously after doing their own research.
Well, diversification, but I will tell you in the last, I've got a team of people that look at deals. And over the last 18 months, when we look at deals on Mondays at 10 o'clock, everything that's coming through the transom, we see a lot of stuff. And the ones that we've invested in, 60% are crypto or derivative of DeFi, because the growth potential in all of these opportunities. I should do a shout out to WonderFi. It just went public in the Canadian Neo Exchange 2 weeks ago.
I think what Kevin said explains all, like his 60% of profit has come from crypto and dividends of DeFi, and while we also believe that cryptocurrencies are the way of the future, but people are still hesitant to believe that they will completely replace the US dollar and national currencies anytime soon. We believe that a future in which people have more choices about which currency they use to conduct business and store value is more likely and reasonable. Finally, what we can say is that whether you want to get into the cryptocurrency or not, one day you will have to adopt them, so isn't it better to adopt them on your own, and obviously when there are very few adopters? And now, if you have any questions about anything that Kevin said, then don't forget to ask the questions in the comment box below. And if you have found the content helpful, then don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to our channel for weekly content like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Until then, goodbye.